So let's make a start. First of all, I welcome you all to this webinar on formatting options in MS Project. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. I am Ninad Kulkarni, and I have around 20 plus years of experience, primarily in the telecom IT domain. And I have executed quite a few large projects and programs, both within India as well as across various countries, especially Europe and UK. Uh, Along the route, I have done quite a few certifications in project and program management like PMP, Prince2, managing successful programs. I have also done strategic management certification from XRI Jamshedpur. I undertake trainings in all project management certifications, Microsoft Project, Agile ways of working, so on and so forth. So that's brief about me. For those of you who are new to ProThoughts, ProThoughts was formed about 5 years ago with a view to furthering project management profession within India. In general, finding that Indian people are good in technical skills, but when it comes to project management and program management, then there's a lot to be desired in terms of not only technical skills but the soft skills as well. Um, so with that in mind, actually to further project management knowledge in the Indian community, uh, ProThoughts was formed, and ProThoughts has the portfolio has been enhancing for the last 5 years or so. I mean, we started with PMP training, but then we also included trainings in disciplined agile, uh, PGMP, and that portfolio is enhancing day by day. We conduct trainings in Microsoft Project. We also undertake consultancy projects using Project Insights and any other project management consultancy. So there are quite a few things related to project and program management that are done in ProThoughts, and their portfolio is being continuously improved. It has already got an attention of one of the most successful startups, and it's ever growing with offices in India as well as Middle East. So that's a brief about ProThoughts. Let me introduce you to this course, the webinar that we are going to have today, agenda. Uh, we'll talk about various options, formatting options in Microsoft Project and filters, groups, and sorting. I would first show a couple of slides just to explain what they are, and then I will follow it up with uh, the demonstration using Microsoft Project. Afterwards, I would talk about Microsoft Project courses that we offer, and there is a e-learning course that we are going to launch on this Diwali. So stay tuned to hear about that, and then there is going to be a Diwali bonus offer as well that I will disclose towards the end of the session. This webinar also, you will be eligible to attain some PDUs, which will help you to complete that 60 PDU requirement for continuation of PMP training, especially for those who have completed PMP certification. So I will reveal that code as well towards the end of the session. So stay tuned in until the end, uh, and you can get rich benefits out of enhancing your career as well as letting know about the offers that we have on the various courses. We'll have the session open towards the end on for question and answer, but I have unmuted you, and please feel free to ask questions anytime when we discuss the formatting options. So with that, I think let's move on to the formatting options as such. Now, when we talk about formatting, it means, I mean, most of you who have been working in the field of project management, so you know that whenever a schedule is presented, it has got generally, it gets presented in different kinds of view. The views could be like in an Excel sheet kind of a view, or it could be a form view where you enter details about each task one after the other, or each resource one after the other, or it could be a combination of a table and a chart where the time bars are represented to show how much duration each task takes, so on and so forth. So when we talk about formatting, Microsoft Project has already provided default formatting, which is good enough for most projects on most occasions. But still, there could be needs where organizations may want to introduce their own formatting just to create a style, or some project managers may want to may have preference for different kind of analysis. So some project managers may want the start dates to be hidden, start and finish dates to be hidden, so as to accidentally avoid making any changes and creating constraints. Some project managers may want a particular sequence of columns, or for the data analysis, someone may want the data to be grouped by something on some fields, or data sorted in a certain format. So typically, when we talk about formatting options, the formatting options talk about formatting the text in terms of font, the font size, the uh, color that we are going to use, the background color, etc. Or it could be applied to specific types of text, like say all milestone tasks, or all summary tasks, or all detailed tasks. So there could be a formatting for specific types of text that we are going to enter. Then when it comes to formatting the bars, that is the scheduling bars, then it could be changing the color of the bar, changing the start end portions of the bar, changing how the text appears on the bar. It could also mean in a chart area, changing the way, the color, the thickness of the various lines that get displayed, like status lines, or your date line, progress lines, etc. It could also mean you should be able to add some drawings and notes to your chart area, which are attached to the time scale, so that they remain where your dates are, or attached to the task, so that whenever task duration changes, then the notes also change, move along with the task. So these are typical formatting options in general that are presented by Microsoft Project with a view to aid in visual appeal, which some different stakeholders may want different kinds of formatting for the way they want to analyze the data. Or it could be just for you to analyze it in a better way. You may want to arrange it. Some many a times organizational PMOs would dictate certain templates, so those templates would be formatted once, and then those templates can be used by many project managers. So whether you are working as a PMO or whether you are working as a project manager, knowing the formatting options would definitely help you to enhance the look and feel of the project screens, as well as the look and feel of what data you share with your stakeholders, and it will also help you in analyzing the project information in a better way. So first, as it appears on the screen, formatting selected text is typically what we have been doing when it's a standard Microsoft feature. We do it in Excel, we do it in Word. Basically, select the text, and then you can use the select the font size, select the background color, select the font color, so on and so forth. So these things are pretty much standard that are provided by Microsoft Project. So if you go to the task tab, then all these options there, uh, bolder, make the task bold, underline the task, italic the task, select the font and font size, color. So you can use them to change the appearance of a particular text cell in the table. Similarly, if you click on this small arrow that appears in the bottom of this for task tab here under the font, then the font dialog box will open up, which will allow you to make the changes to this thing. So select the task and apply the changes. That's a very simple way to format the selected text. I will show you it in the demonstration, so it will become easier for you to understand. And next comes applying text style. So as I said, if you want to apply a particular text style to your summary bars, or to your milestones, or to your external tasks, then you have to go to Format tab. Then from Format tab, select the text styles. And in the text styles, Here there is a little drop down called items to change. And from items to change, you can select whether you want to apply the text style to milestones or to summary tasks. It can also be applied to the text that appear on the chart portion. So text that appears towards the left of the bar or text that appears on the top of the bar, etc. You can select that and you can apply those text styles to those texts. So it's a simple way of changing appearance of the particular types of task or bar text that appears along with the task or bars. That is text styles. Then next is layout. So whenever you want to change the layout of the bars, then whether they get connected by this kind of crisp arrows or whether they want to get connected by this arrow, or whether you don't want to show the arrows at all, you can select it from there. You can select the date formats in which the date appears. Bar heights you can decide. You can also select these options, always roll up the Gantt bars and hide them when the summary is expanded. Meaning now, look, you can see that these are two bars here and the rolled up bar appear over here. So these two small red bars that are there, that are appearing along with the overall task bar or summary task bar, these are known as the rolled up bars. Now, whether you want to show them when summary is expanded, which is the case right now, or whether you want to hide them when the summary is expanded, that can be selected from these options. You can round the bars to whole days or not. You can show the splits. So these are all can be done from the layout option. Grid lines will allow you to format the grid lines, that is status date line or current date line or progress lines. It will allow you to format them. Then insert column is pretty standard. Insert column, change the appearance of the column, hide the columns. They are pretty standard Excel-like commands that are given, which will allow you to change the way in which the columns are sequenced for better analysis. Next, now, whenever we want to format bars, you can either, just like text, you can either format one bar or you can format a set of bars. Now, formatting one bar, you can select format and go to select bar, or you can simply double click on bar and the format bar dialog box will open up. The bar has got three types, three sections basically. The start section, the middle section, and the end section. So you can define exactly how you want the start and end sections to appear as well as the middle section to appear. And you can also control the text that appears along with the bar on the top, bottom, left, right, and within the bar as well. So there are options provided which I will show you, by which you can format the simple bar. Same thing can be done with a set of bars like milestone bars or summary bars. You can set those same thing for a set of bars from bar size dialog box. That also I would demonstrate. Next comes the presentation of how the bars will appear, especially the manually scheduled task or the automatically scheduled task. Uh, Generally, people for the analysis purpose would want a manually scheduled task to be shown separately in a separate color than an automatically scheduled task. So you can choose a different scheduling style. So green color and blue color maybe. So that easily helps you identify. But if you are going to share the schedule with the stakeholders, then the stakeholders need not know how many tasks are manually scheduled and how many tasks are automatically scheduled. In which case, you can simply select a presentation style which has got same color bars there. So there is no, they will not be able to distinguish whether it's a manually scheduled task or a automatically scheduled task unless they see the task mode column. Attaching drawings is another way to format your Gantt chart and enhance the effectiveness of the information that you present. So small memory jobbers or any specific drawing that you want to attach with a task, you can attach to a task or you can attach to a time scale, and that will help you not to forget that particular aspect when you are actually looking at the scheduling and tracking the task. Filters, groups, sorting, and outline labels, they are also effective ways of formatting the things. Outline labels is like your WBS, work breakdown structure, where you have a hierarchical decomposition of summary task under which there are sub summary tasks, then there are detailed tasks that way. So how many labels you want to display, that can be controlled by setting the outline labels. So now let me just demonstrate a few things to you here. What I will do is I have created one sample project plan here, and we can demonstrate these things from here. It's a simple project plan. So if you want to format the text, you simply go to the task menu, and then you can select underline, you can select italics, you can add background color, you can change the color, whatever you want to do, you can do for one particular cell that you select. It's a very simple way of formatting a task. Now, if you want to format a set of tasks, uh, say then you go to the format tab, select the text styles. Now, as I said, there's an item to open here. Let's format the summary task. Okay, so I select the summary task from here, and then I will select whatever. Say I want background pattern. I will select this one. You can select better one. I'm just using it for demonstration. I may use a different color here. So, and maybe I want to have this in the red color. So now you can see that all my summary tasks will be formatted using the pattern that I selected. Now you can see that whatever Microsoft project had provided as a default is good enough, but still if you have requirements, specific requirements, or if you want special appearance to be enhanced, then you can always do that. So this way you can select the textiles. Now, while on the textiles, as I said, you can also format select the items on the chart side. So if I say that let me select this task first. That will be easier. I will select this task now, and I will go to the task style, and I will say whatever appears to bar text right. So whatever appears on the right hand side of this bar will get formatted with what I am going to do now. So I can just say color. If I select this, then you can see that this text gets changed. The color of this text gets changed. So that way you can apply the text styles, use the text styles to format the kind of text that appears. You can see all the text that appears on the right hand side has got changed now. Now, grid lines. This is the one that will help you to, we will not go to progress lines because that just makes the chart cumbersome. But if you want to track the progress from current date to wherever the task status is right now, then there's a zigzag lines that are drawn. I will not demonstrate that you. If you want, you can practice it later on. Uh, Grid lines. Say you want to add a current date line. So current date line is green, and I will select it as say this one only. Let's see this one, and you can see that this current date line is now appearing over here. Similarly, I can say that status date. Sorry, I will set the status date first. Project status date, and I will set say November 17 as my status date. Yeah, 17 appears over here. So November 17 as my say status date. Now when I select format grid lines, then status date, I will say simply say color as a red one and like this. Now you can see the status date line appears over here. So this way you can actually format the way things look like. There are additional formatting ways for these bars. So if you want to show how this how this thing works out. Let's go to the time scale portion, and then you see select non-working time, and you can say that the non-working time color. If you select a different color over here, I will just select a blue one over here, and now you can see that all your non-working time gets changed. Just change it again to be. Okay. Again, this is not better, but I will just leave it like this right now. Uh, okay, so this is about changing uh, the grid lines. Now insert column settings. This is pretty standard. You can add columns, add new columns. You can select the columns to be added. You can change the sequence of the columns. So say for example, you want to make the resource column appear before predecessor. You can select the column and you can simply move it like this, and things get changed. I will just do undo. Yeah, so this way you can change the column sequence as well. You can change the table that you want to display by going to the view and then selecting tables. Default table is an entry table, but you can select the cost table, and all the earned value things will appear over here. I haven't created a detailed plan, so obviously you won't get that much data there. So let me change back to the earned value view. So this way you are able to uh, format the tables and format the appearance of your Gantt chart the way you want, including the time scale. There are from the text styles you can also select the way this time scale gets formatted also. Now coming to the bars, as I said, whenever you want to change the bar, you can just go to the format and select a bar from here, or you simply double click if you want to change the bar for this one, say this task, then simply double click this and sorry, not double click here, simply double click here and you will get the bar dialog box opened up. You can, as I said, start, middle, and end are the three portions. So I will just change the shape now. Let's say I want to put the start shape like this, end shape also like this to demarcate, and I will add a different color to it. Okay. And I will also say that I want some text to appear over here on the top side, and that text could be, let's say, baseline duration. Let me say baseline duration. Okay. If I say OK, then now you can see that this bar has got changed now with a start portion, end portion. Middle color I think I did not change, and the baseline duration of 5 days is now appearing on the top of it. So this way you can change the appearance of a single bar. Now, if you want to change the appearance of the complete bars, then either from here you select a bar style dialog box, or from here you can go to the bar style dialog box, and here from here you can select. Say for example, you want to change milestone, and instead of this diamond, you want this milestone to be appearing as say star. Then you can select a star, and maybe you want to change the color as well. So let's put this as a color for this milestone. And now you can see all these milestones have got changed now. They are from the diamonds, they are now changed to star for all milestones. You can see all milestones changed to stars. So that way you can use the bar style dialog box to change the appearance of particular bar styles. Now the presentation styles and scheduling regime. First, let me show you this. If I select this one, I don't have a manually scheduled task here, so let me just create one here. So this is a say, I will say dummy task to just make it dummy, and I will make it a manually scheduled task. I will give it a duration of say 5 days. Okay. Now you can see the color of this bar is different from the color of these bars, just to make it help you identify that. Now, if I want to select a different style, then I can always select this as a style. Let me select this as a style. And now you can see that all bars are changed to the color scheme that I have selected, except for the one which I had formatted specifically. All other bars are changed. So this helps you to actually present the schedules in different format for analysis and presentation. There's another beautiful feature called critical task. If you tick that one, then all the critical tasks. Now in this case, there's only one path, and that's all critical paths. So all tasks will get changed to this particular one, red bar length. That means they are critical tasks. You can use Slack to show Slack. Late task you can format in a different color. Task path is also good feature if you want to analyze the predecessors and successors for a task. So if you, whenever there are thousands of tasks, the schedule gets cluttered and it becomes very difficult for you to identify what tasks are important. So if you want to focus on say module one as a task now, and you want to identify its predecessors and successors, then this task path features will help. So if I select driving predecessors, then now you can see all the driving predecessors for this task become in a different color. And I can also say driven successors, and all the successor tasks for this one will get changed, changed in a different color. So this way you will be able to focus on that particular task, successor and predecessors effectively. You select a baseline, and you can see that all the baseline bars appear over here. So Microsoft Project has given you n number of capabilities for formatting the schedules in the way you want. You can select how the baseline color looks like, and all that can be done. We will not go into the details just yet, but these are all possibilities that you can do with this formatting. Now our uh, simple thing of grouping, filtering, and highlight filters, that's also there. So sort command, you can sort by start date, finish date. There are pre-built sorts. Plus you can set sort by, and you can specify three different fields: sort first by so and so, then by so and then by third so and so. So three different fields in ascending and descending order. You can sort the things. There is also a auto sort that is available because we have set that option that way. So from here also you can say how you want to auto filter, which filters you want to display over here. That's a part of filtering. Outline, you can select how many outlines you want to show. If I say hide subtask, it will hide all the subtasks. Sorry, I should have hidden all the subtasks from here. So it will now hide all the subtasks. I will show all the subtasks. It will show all the subtasks from here. Now I can use highlight filter, which means the task will be highlighted. So I will say critical, highlight critical task, or say highlight milestones, and you can see all the milestones will get highlighted. If I say highlight critical task, then all the tasks will get here. In this case, all the tasks are critical, so all will get highlighted here. No highlight. Same thing you can do by filtering. So when I say highlight milestones, sorry, filter milestones, then you will get only the milestones appearing over here. The main top level task and only the milestones appearing over here. Similarly, you can select group by, say group by milestones, and you will get all the task club, whichever are milestones and whichever are no milestones. So you can create group by clauses as well. So all these features using different tables, using outlining, using sorting, using milestones, group by, and you can have filters and milestones, filters and group bys created by based on your own logic as well. So n number of possibilities exist for filtering the things and displaying it in the way stakeholders want. Another feature, as I said, is adding drawings. And let me just show you how you can do that. Now drawing, if you go to the format tab and say drawing, then the drawing menu comes up. I will simply add one text box over here. So here's a text box and I will say that sample text. Okay. Now this text box, I can attach it to the time scale. So this is attached to the time scale. So which will it will remain over here, but I can also attach it to the task. I can specify I want to attach it to say task ID 2, task ID 2, and let it be attached towards the end. So the moment I do that, you can now see that this will get attached to the task ID 2. I will just remove the filtering from here. Okay, and now you can see task ID 2. You can see the sample getting attached over here. As if you move the taskbar, then the sample text will move along with the task as well. So this is a very useful way to make sure that if there is any particular thing that you want to remember for the task in terms of a pictorial way, you can always attach it to the Gantt chart. So these are a few capabilities of Microsoft Project formatting. There are still a few more which you can explore. This is a good enough tutorial to tell you what different features and what capabilities would exist in Microsoft Project. Now let me talk to you about typically how do we cover these things in our general course. So typically, our course covers the entire scope of Microsoft Project Training. Let me just put it on the slideshow mode. Right from creating a dynamic schedule, baselining the schedule, tracking the schedule, and creating the performance reports, and managing multiple projects, managing resource allocations in an optimum way across multiple projects. That's all we cover. Typically, that course, whenever we do it as an instructor-led online course, we also conduct the corporate batches as well. So these are about 2.5 to 3 days duration, in which we take you through development, step-by-step development of a case study. We develop a project plan, baseline it, and track it so that you get an end-to-end view of how a project manager would plan, track, and create performance reports out of it, including the optimization of the schedule from time to time by running what-if scenarios, etc. So typical pedagogy used in the sessions is we first define the concepts like I did it for formatting options. Now that's the sessions are interactive, so you can ask questions there also. And after the sessions, there is a instructor-led guided exercises. So every session is followed up with a guided exercise uh, that helps you to build your case study in a step-by-step manner, and that way we continue till throughout our course. That's our methodology. Typically any course will have a pre-course counseling, so sometimes people have got some special requirements that they want to focus more on reporting or more on assigning resources, so we can cater to those requirements. Content is customized with a case study, and you get access to ProThoughts on e-learning resources, online resources on the portal for the same. 16 hours of online training sessions. You can practice at your convenience later on as well. And immediate application would reinforce your learning. And there is a post training support as well. So many people come to us for their solving their real life problems. because practice will only make you perfect in using the tool. Now, one of the things that you need to remember is that this being a practical course, you need to have access to Microsoft Project of a copy of your own. Now, if you don't have, then you may want to get in touch with ProThoughts, and then they will help you suggest you certain alternatives. But the prerequisite for attending any of this course on Microsoft Project is you should have a copy of Microsoft Project yourself. Now, as I said in the beginning, we are launching the e-learning course for this as well, coming Diwali. So that course is ready. Whatever I just told you about instructor-led course, we have created high quality videos for those sessions. And the beauty of that is that it's a self-paced thing, and you can pause and revisit the content any number of times as per your leisure. So there is no time boundness of say you have to complete it in 2.5 days or 3 days, but you can go through the content, you can pause, you can go back and revisit the content as many times as it's possible. Now, once you complete the course, you get the PDUs and you also get the certificate of achievement. Uh, and afterwards, for those who want to take the examination also, they will get some additional PDUs and they will get a certificate of excellence and a badge of honor. That badge of honor, you can, it's a very useful one, which will demonstrate your achievement of certain credentials in this using of Microsoft Project, and it will be a good ambassador for ProThoughts as well. That we offer structured learning with certificate courses in Microsoft Project. So that's the thing that we are going to launch on this Diwali, and that basically it will just help you to become a good project manager. You will be able to uh, give routine tasks to the tool itself and spare most of your time to do the value-added activities like stakeholder engagement and optimizing the opportunities and minimizing the risk, etc. So that's about the e-learning course. We have got other courses also coming up like PMP certification, PGMP certification, then disciplined agile certification. Any other questions or any other information, you can get in touch with Siddhant at prothought.co.in. There is a number given. So someone asked about the combo offer, someone asked about how many PDUs and when the course will be shared. If you have any doubts or if you don't receive the recording, you can always get in touch with Siddhant on this number or the address given, and he will be able to assist you. Just in case you have any doubts about or clarification needed about the e-learning course or anything related to formatting options that we covered today, uh, you can also get in touch with Siddharth and he can put you in touch with me. If you have any special requirements on the training for Microsoft project that you want to discuss with me, again, you can get in touch with Siddharth and he will put you in touch with me. So that's and furthermore, if you want any further topics to be included that are of your interest, anything related to project and program management that you want to cover as webinars, feel free to share those topics, and we will be happy to take those up in the webinars. That will also open up an avenue for you to attend the PDUs required. Fine. So now that comes to an end of the session. I will show you the code to be used for claiming the PDUs for this webinar.